Hi everyone! I decided to use this hearts filter. I thought it was cute, but I think I'm gonna get rid of it because it looks, well, I'll just leave it for now. If it's too distracting, just let me know. I'm gonna go over all of the I'm gonna go over a bunch of the questions that you guys asked yesterday. Here, let me get rid of this filter. Okay guys, I'm a little embarrassed to ask. Honestly, you guys are way better at this stuff than me. I've never gone live on Insta before. How do I actually get oh, you know what? I found it. I got it. Okay, filter's gone. It is really distracting, so I agree, I got rid of it. Okay, as far as what we're gonna do live today, I want to go over as many of the questions as I can that you guys had from yesterday. So the first thing that I want to mention is that every live video that I do will be saved. It's going to be saved to my phone first, and then I'm going to upload it to Google Classroom. I'm going to upload it to my website. So you'll be able to access my stuff anytime. It's not like a one and done deal. If you can't make it for a live meeting, don't worry about it. You could access it later. Actually, that was one of the first questions that was asked. Can you review old videos for lessons? Absolutely. So anytime that you have questions, go back, review those older videos. They'll all be posted to YouTube. I've made a few playlists, but we'll kind of vary it up a little bit. But go back, watch them. If they still don't make sense, get in contact with me as soon as possible because I want to make sure I get your questions answered in a timely manner. Hi, Olivia. My best friend, Olivia, actually joined in our live session. She is the best. She's wonderful. So welcome, Olivia. And welcome to all of you. Good morning. All right. So one of the first questions I got was, what was your favorite method of studying for history? Flashcards. Flashcards are life, you guys. Use flashcards for everything. If you don't like physically making them, you can make digital flashcards on Quizlet. So that's something I would highly recommend. Make flashcards for every key term for every unit. And also that's something I'm going to be uploading on a daily basis. I'm going to be uploading key terms that you guys should be keeping track of. So that's just something to keep in mind. Oh, one of my neighbors is walking her dog. I have to show you. It's so cute. I don't know if you guys play Animal Crossing, but living up here is like real life Animal Crossing. Like you have your neighbors and they're doing their thing and you can watch them. It's really fun. I love it. Yes, use Quizlet. Quizlet is awesome. And there's also a lot of like pre-made stuff on there from other people, but just be careful. I would highly recommend getting your own definitions and not just like copying and pasting. That way you are the one physically doing it. And that way, you know, you are the one like writing it down or typing it up and it's yours. So try not to use other people's stuff from Quizlet, but use Quizlet as a resource. Let's see, do we do work on Edgenuity every single day? Yes. So Edgenuity, from what I'm told, is going to be available to you guys as of tomorrow. Unfortunately, though, I think there's going to be some, I think there's going to be glitches. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the entire weekend. Over the weekend, I'm going to do two things. One, I'm going to respond to all of your videos that you guys sent me. The other thing that I'm going to do over the weekend is I'm going to make sure that every single one of you that's on my queue rosters is on Edgenuity as well. I want to do that before we get started so that way we can kind of avoid all of those glitches. But Edgenuity will start Monday. And how Edgenuity works is there's an automatic pacer. I'm going to set the start date for AP World as of this coming up Monday, and the end date is going to be a week before the AP exam. So the course is automatically paced out for you, and you'll have daily assignments that you need to complete. As far as counting those assignments for accuracy towards your grade, I'm still kind of thinking about that, and I'm trying to figure out how to work out a system. But like I mentioned yesterday, it's really my stuff that I really want you guys to put stock into, that I really want you to study from. So with that said, don't worry too much about Edgenuity yet. Let me play with it over the weekend. Let me make sure you guys are all synced up with it, and then we'll go from there. There was a question. I'm mainly taking questions from yesterday right now, so try and hold on to your questions for today, and then I'll make another Google Classroom link, and then you could type them up for me, and I'll answer today's questions in a live session tomorrow. However, I do want to answer one that was in the live session today because it's important. Some of you were asking about the Strayer text for Ways of the World, for AP World. The Strayer text, you guys, oh my God, it is amazing. We are really lucky that we get to use the Strayer text because the textbook that the district adopted is it's not that great. But the Strayer text is amazing. It is like the #1 chosen text by WAP teachers nationwide. So we're privileged that we get to use that text because everyone who's attending traditional and remote, they have the other text, which is okay, but it's, in my personal opinion, it's not as good. But I just wanted to address that. As far as getting the book to you guys, it has not been purchased, I don't think, by the district yet, but I actually talked to the director of curriculum and instruction yesterday, and he said that he's going to work on getting the licensing for it, and he's going to have them to you as quickly as possible. I can't imagine that it's going to take more than like a few days to a week. I'll keep you guys updated on that because that's a very important question. Okay. When will we know if class is live? I'll always tell you. I'll always send out a remind. I'll always let you know, hey, I'm going to go live at this time. If you can make it, great. If not, then it'll be saved to my website. So that's just something to keep in mind. Are we Zooming all year? So we're definitely not going to Zoom all the time. And I apologize for all the mishaps yesterday. It was definitely a hot mess. But I think by going live this way, I think it's just a better avenue. That way, the only audio feedback is from me. And what happened yesterday, there was actually a glitch in Zoom's system, which would not allow me to mute everybody, which was frustrating. But don't worry, nothing like that will ever happen again. Are practice tests graded? I'm only going to count practice tests towards your overall participation grade, but I'm not going to count practice tests for accuracy. That wouldn't be fair because then it's not practice, it's a test. So don't worry about that. I will, however, after a practice test is done and after I've gone through and physically graded them all, oh look, a little flower fell. Well, I'm going to put that right here. Actually, no, it won't fit. No, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give you guys the answer keys to the practice test. That way you can go back, figure out what you did wrong. And if you ever need to Zoom with me to go over the practice test and kind of verbally talk it out, just let me know. And I'm more than happy to set up private Zoom meetings. Digital notes. Let me think about this one, okay? I'm going to take the weekend and I'm going to think about it. Right now, I'm leaning towards traditional handwritten notes, which might surprise you since I'm young. You'd think I'd want to do everything digital. But my thinking behind it is there's a ton of research out there that shows if you physically write something out, you are far more likely to retain that information. So I'm really leaning towards that, but I will take the weekend to think about it and I'm going to keep an open mind about it. I'll do some research about the pros and cons of taking notes digitally, and then I'll make my decision based on that. I am leaning towards traditional, but like I said, I will definitely keep an open mind over the weekend. Okay, do we need anything for the course? Oh, just a quick side note, I did upload a video that explains everything that we went over in yesterday's Zoom meeting. So everything's there as far as the breakdown of the class, the breakdown of the exam, what you need for the class, how your grades are going to work. All of that information is there. So I'm just going to I'm going to refer you guys to that video for those types of questions. But if you still can't find the answer, just let me know and I'll let you know step by step the stuff you need for our class. My favorite lesson to teach. Oh man, guys, I'm just going to warn you. When it comes to be French Revolution time, you are going to see Bolton go a little crazy. I love the French Revolution. It is life. I love it. We will watch Les Mis together. I don't know if you guys are familiar with Les Mis. It is my favorite movie. Oh my God. The French Revolution, my favorite. It is bloody. It's gory. It's slanderous. It's crazy. It's my favorite. So when it comes to be French Revolution time, do you hear the people sing, man? It's going to be G-rate. I can't wait. Hey, I did a rhyme there. Okay. Can we start our work as soon as it's posted? Absolutely. As soon as I post something to Google Classroom, go ahead, get started on it. If you want to wait, a little closer to when it's due, that's cool too. But I would actually say it'd probably be best to do that stuff as soon as it's posted, because a lot of the stuff on Google Classroom is for me, like, to take attendance. So yesterday I posted the syllabus form. When I would say like 99% of you already turned that in. So that means that I have like 100% attendance from yesterday. And what's kind of nice is that the teachers in CNUSC, we have 5 days to enter in attendance from that original class day. So what I'm probably going to do is I'm going to every Sunday do the entire week's attendance from the previous week. I hope that makes sense. But the reason I'm doing that is because I'm trying to give a little leeway for technical issues and what have you. Let's see. What is the workload like for AP World? So I don't want to sugarcoat it. AP World is a tough class. There's going to be a lot of work, a lot of prep. But what I want to do is I want to meet you guys halfway. If you guys are working your tails off, that means I'm going to be working my tail off too. This is a team effort. That means if we do a practice test, I'm going to do my best to have it back to you within 1 to 2 days. If you guys just wrote like an essay or like SAQ or an LAQ, whatever it might be, I'm going to have that back to you within a few days. If you're working hard, I'm working hard. That's our agreement. That's our social contract, so to speak. So it's just something to keep in mind. I would say you'll have like some kind of reading assignment every day. You'll have a video to watch every day, some kind of activity to do every day. It will be intensive, but I don't want to toot my own horn or anything, but I promise you that you are in capable hands. I know what I'm doing. My pass rate for AP Euro last year was 62%, which I'm extremely pleased with, especially considering the fact that, COVID happened. But the national average for AP Euro for this past year was 55%. So I'm pretty happy with those scores. And that means that, my hard work and my AP Euro students' hard work came to fruition. It happened. We slayed the game. And we're going to do the same thing. But you have to be committed and you have to put the work in. All right. Will the course be faster since it's online? No. Like I said, the class is automatically paced out via Edgenuity. I'm going to go with Edgenuity's pacing, but it's not bad. It's really not any different from how it would be paced out if we were physically in the classroom. That's actually a really good question, and I'm glad that was asked. Notes, we already talked about notes. That was actually asked a few times. Like I said, I'll think about that over the weekend and keep an open mind. What is remote support? Okay, so I want to address that. Remote support, like those 20-minute class periods that happen between 1 and 3 every day, the purpose of it is really for the teachers to connect with you guys. And when I say connect, I don't mean like assign you a bunch of work. I mean connect here. It's really meant for the teacher to be available to you in case you have a problem, in case you have an issue you want to work out, or in case you just want to have a conversation with us. Sometimes, we have tough days and we got to vent to somebody, right? So I'm always here for you guys, not just in that remote time, but all the time. So also the purpose of the remote time is to have live interaction with you guys. But like I said before, 20 minutes just is not enough to really go over what we need to go over. So I'll be going live kind of at different times, but like I said, they'll all be saved to my YouTube. That way everything stays equitable. That way everyone has equal access. I hope that's fair. Textbooks, we already went over that. We're going to have Ways of the World, the Strayer text. That should be to you guys, I'm hoping, within the week. In fact, once this live call's over, I'm going to call the district office and see if I can get an update about that. Is the WAP test required? Okay. Technically, we as teachers cannot make you pay $94 to take an exam. We can't do that. It's not legal. I can't be like, take the exam or fail. That's against district ed code. It's against policy. I can't do that. Nevertheless, here's what I can tell you. If you take the class and you don't take the exam, colleges, they're not going to like that. Colleges don't like to see that students take the AP class just for the GPA boost, because they know that that's why, like, the majority of students who don't end up taking the exam, it's because they originally took the class for that GPA boost. I'm in no way saying that that's the case for any of you. Some of you might just be worried, like, man, this class is going to be really hard. Like, can I even pass the test? I don't want to take it. I understand that too. But I just want to let you know what colleges are going to think when they see your transcript and they see that you've taken the class. Oh, and especially if you got an A or B in the class, colleges are going to be like, what the heck? Why didn't you take the exam? Not taking the AP exam is the equivalent of, like, let's say you're on the football team and you go to every single practice, you go to every single game, you help win every single game, you make it to CIF, but then you bail on the championship games. Like, there's no, you guys see what I'm saying? Taking the AP exam is extremely important, not just for college applications or what have you. It's important for your self-worth. If you're putting in all of that work, you might as well at least give it a try. Now, you might be worried that colleges will frown upon it if you don't do well on the AP exam. Guys, I took a bunch of AP exams in high school, and I got 2s on a few of them. And I got into Stanford University my senior year. I didn't end up going because I couldn't get scholarship money and my parents couldn't afford to co-sign for a loan for me. But the reason why I'm telling you this is because it's possible to get into really good schools even if you don't ace every AP exam. So I just wanted to lay that out there for you. Take the exam. Again, I'm not saying that for numbers. I'm not saying do it for, I'm saying do it for you. Okay? Okay. What is it like living in the mountains? Ooh, I like that question. Oh man, living up here, here, let me just show you my view. Guys, that's what I get to wake up to every day. It is, I don't even have words for it, but the closest word that I can think of is magical. Living up here is magical. Like, I wake up and if there's bad stuff going on in the world, like COVID or whatever else is happening, oh man, it's just, I just look out at that and it brings peace to my heart. So it's good stuff. Good stuff. Great stuff living up here. If you ever have the chance to live up here, go for it. It's really not that far. Like, I can make a 15-minute drive down the hill and I'm in civilization. I can go anywhere I want. I can go to Target. I could go to GameStop. Ooh, I actually need to go to GameStop today. I'm glad I reminded myself of that. All right. I was asked the question, is school technically only on weekdays, or will we have weekend work as well? So yes, you will have weekend work, but the weekend work will mostly consist of like watching videos that I upload that coincide with Edgenuity. And the purpose of those videos is to break down the material that you're working on in Edgenuity. So just keep that in mind. Make sure you keep up with all of the work. But like I mentioned before, I know that we're in a different situation right now. We all have like different internet situations. You know, my internet's super strong right now, but what if someone's using a hotspot and their live feed goes out like halfway through this? Don't worry, I'm gonna make sure that all of my assignment due dates, like everything I do is going to be equitable and fair. So don't worry, I'm going to take care of you with that. Okay, AP Euro versus AP World. Someone asked the question, like, what's the difference in the two classes? So the cool thing actually, the one like thing that's mirrored between the two classes is that it's the exact same skills. So if you have a buddy in AP Euro that you want to like study with, or like make a Google Doc with and like do study guides or whatever, all of the skills are exactly the same. So just like our AP exam has 55 multiple choice questions, it has SAQs, an LEQ, and a DBQ, the AP Euro exam is designed exactly the same way. The only difference between the two classes is content. AP Euro focuses on the European continent and how Europe has interacted with the world since the year roughly like 1300. But AP World goes back to about 1200, and it encompasses all continents of the world. Now, a question you might have is like, do I need to know every single country in the world? Do I need to know where every single teeny little minute country is? Do I need to know every single fact about history? No, you do not. AP World History, we are going to study that thematically. And I'm going to break that down and go over that more. There's actually a slide in the video that I posted last night, the one that replaced our Zoom meeting yesterday. There's a slide in there that breaks down all of the themes of AP World. You can take a look at that, and if you have questions about it, you can ask me, but I'm also going to upload a separate video that breaks that information down more. But again, just to break it down, the primary difference between Euro and World is that AP Euro is mainly focused on the European continent, whereas World is the interaction between all continents of the world. So it's a little bit different in that sense, but the skills are exactly the same. I was also asked how I know like about AP World, or that like someone thought I only taught AP Euro. That is actually true. I'm only the AP Euro teacher at Santiago usually, but I did teach AP World at Pomona High School before I switched over to CNUSD. I taught AP World for 3 years there. We did pretty well, and it was a lot of fun. But AP World, since I previously taught it, has been redesigned. But thankfully, I was already well versed in the redesign because I'm good friends with the AP World teacher at Santiago. We're pretty tight with each other, so she's kind of kept me updated on how it's been redesigned. So, with that said, I'm super excited to get back to teaching AP World because it really gives you more of a well-rounded, broad, and complete story of history. So that's why I'm excited for it. I hope you guys are too. Practice tests. How often will we have practice tests? Like full-on 55-question practice tests. So I'm going to upload those as often as I can. I'm going to scan them. I have like 10 quintillion AP World prep books. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go and I'm going to scan pages out of those books and I'll upload them online. I'll probably upload like one full practice test every month. In fact, you know what? I'm really glad that question was asked because I'll probably upload one over the weekend. That way you can kind of take sort of a diagnostic test to see where you are now. Now, if you take a 55 question multiple choice test this weekend, I don't want you to be disappointed in yourself if you bomb it, if you don't do well, because it's your first one. You're supposed to bomb it. You're supposed to not be perfect at it yet. But by the end of the year, by May, before our AP exam, I'm hoping that the majority of you are at the 50% threshold or higher on multiple choice. Because remember, 50% in my class is a C, which is the equivalent of a 3 on the exam. So we want to hit that 50% benchmark. But again, if you take the diagnostic test and you fail it or you don't do well, don't worry about it. Just go through it. We can even go through it together and see where you went wrong so we can get you on the right direction. My favorite historical moment. I like that question. Everyone always asks me like, oh, what's your favorite era? What's your favorite chapter? No, this question says, what's your favorite historical moment? Okay. So I have to tell you the story because it's such a great story. And of course, it's from the French Revolution. So the French Revolution has a few different phases. It has 5 phases total. I'm not going to go through all of it, but the radical phase of the French Revolution was called the Reign of Terror. And the leader of France, essentially, during the Reign of Terror, his name was Maximilien Robespierre. He was hardcore. If anybody seemed like an anti-revolutionary, he would say, off with their heads, and sentence them to be executed by guillotine. You know that machine that would chop your head off? Yeah, good times. So, one of Robespierre's very close friends, his name was Jean-Paul Marat, and he worked for a French newspaper. And Marat, he didn't physically kill anybody, but he would accuse a lot of people of being anti-revolutionaries, even if they weren't. This guy was super shady because he would get paid for every person that he would hand over to Robespierre. Jean-Paul Marat had a really nasty skin condition, like where he would get like pustules and blisters all over his skin. And the only thing that would really help him was sitting in baths, like sitting in his bathtub with like bath salts. It would kind of like calm all the blistering condition on his arms. One day, he was taking one of his baths, and this dude, I don't know what possessed him to leave his door unlocked, but his door was unlocked. And a young woman by the name of Charlotte Corday goes into his house. She sneaks in. She's able to get past his guards. She gives them some kind of lame story and they buy it. And Charlotte Corday goes up to Marat's bathroom, like super quietly, like tiptoeing, kind of like Andy in The Office when he uses his Prius to run over Dwight because the Prius doesn't make any noise. Anyway, so Charlotte goes into his bathroom. She's right behind him. She takes her high heel and stabs him as hard as she can, and she kills the guy. And I'm not an advocate of violence or anything, but the fact that she killed him with a high heel, man, that's pretty hardcore, right? There's actually a famous painting that depicts that moment. It's called The Death of Marat. If you ever want to look it up, actually, I'll send you guys a picture of it through Remind when we're done with the live session. But that is my favorite historical moment of all time. It's just such a fun story to tell. I hope you guys enjoyed that. Little taste of what you're going to get later on. Is it easy to pass the exam if we study hard enough? Is it easy to pass the exam if we study hard enough? You know what? I'm going to say yes. I think so. I think if you devote like you get all of your work done and then you take like 10 extra minutes a day to read a tiny little chapter out of a prep book that you buy for AP World. We'll talk more about that in a second, by the way. If you take 10 minutes to read out of one of those prep books a day, you are going to be at a way higher advantage than somebody who didn't do that every day. How you perform on the exam is entirely dependent on your commitment to watching my videos, to doing your work, and also your commitment to studying outside of that. But when I say study every day, you don't have to study 2 hours outside of your, work day every single day. Even if you took like 10, 15 minutes and just reviewed one concept a day, you are far more likely to pass the exam, and you're far less likely to panic on exam day because you are going to be at least familiar with any given topic that College Board throws at you. So my recommendation, study every single day, you guys. Like, get your work done and take 10 to 15 minutes a day and study a concept a day. Now, a minute ago, I mentioned prep books for AP World. I wish I had brought mine out here, but I would highly recommend buying the Crash Course AP World History Preparation book. It is like $12 on Amazon, or if you go to Barnes & Noble, I think it's like maybe a little more expensive there, but you should get a student discount. But it is excellent. It sums up everything you need to know very concisely. And it's a nice little resource. Like, you can open it up and the chapters are real short. Like it has like maybe 3 pages for one concept. every single day. Open that book up, read a little bit of it, put it away. It doesn't have to be, studying doesn't have to be super stressful, guys. Make flashcards when you review those concepts, and then, you know, store them away. And then when it comes time for the AP exam, get that big old stack of flashcards and just start going through a few a day. It doesn't have to be, it's kind of like when I started to lose weight, right? I could not work out like 3 hours a day. And that is totally unrealistic anyway. To get a good workout, you want to work out like do cardio for like 30, 45 minutes and call it a day. And then, you know, do a little bit of strength training and then you're good to go. But if you work out like 5 hours a day, that's going to be bad for your muscles. You're going to tear muscle and it's going to be damaged and it has to heal itself. The mind works in a very similar way. You don't want to overtax it. Don't study for 3 hours a day. Study for 20 minutes a day and then call it. And then I can guarantee that passing this exam will not be that bad. I promise. All of you can do it. It's just a matter of commitment. That's all it is. All of you have the minds of AP students. Now you just have to have the drive of somebody who is motivated and somebody who really wants to succeed. That's the hard part of being successful, not just in my class, but in life. You can have the desire to succeed, but you also have to have the drive and motivation to make it happen. I'm getting a question. I want to answer it real quick. For attendance, do we do Edgenuity? I'm going to say yes. Do your best to get your daily Edgenuity assignments done. Like I said, they're all paced out for you. Try to get them done by that day. Like it'll tell you, oh, you need to have X, Y, and Z done by today. Do your best to get that done. If some of it overlaps into the next day, that's okay. But I would say my attendance is really more based on Google Classroom, like little things that I post there. Do those things. As long as you do your Google Classroom assignments, you will be counted present every single day. I hope that kind of answers a lot of the preliminary questions that you guys had about the course. When do we start working on Edgenuity? We're not starting Edgenuity yet. Like I said at the beginning of the live feed, Edgenuity technically will not be available to all students until tomorrow, but I want to take the weekend and work all the bugs out, and I want to make sure every single one of you is enrolled in Edgenuity prior to us actually starting it. So I would say that the latest we'll start Edgenuity is either Monday or Tuesday of next week. We will not start later than that because I don't want to put us behind or anything. That actually wraps up our live session for today. I gotta head to a doctor's appointment. No big deal. I gotta get my TB test redone, and I gotta get my first aid and CPR done. Just a few things to start the school year. But I actually got to get going. But it was wonderful to be live with all of you. I'm going to go live again tomorrow. So I'm going to start a new question link on Google Classroom. So if you have more questions, type them up there, and then I'll do another live session tomorrow. I hope you guys like how we do the live sessions and how I set this up. I want it to be cohesive so that your questions are answered immediately. But anyway, have a fantastic day. Let me know if you need anything. I'll be available on Remind all day. So don't be shy. Ask me anything. And have a great rest of your day, guys. See you later.